So I made this Niddy Noddy a while back before Melissa was too deep into spinning, and I think I followed an instruction online, and it seemed like it worked pretty well. As you can see, it's got copper tees. I'll come in close so you can see it. It's got copper tees and then just some simple dowel rods and a copper tee at the other end. This guy, from end to end, the stem is about 12 and 3/4 inches. 12 and 3/4 inches. But note that your yarn doesn't end up going from end to end. It kind of goes in this direction. So in this direction, it's more like 13 inches. With the Niddy Noddy, you've got to multiply your length times 4 because your wraps go from here to here to here to here to here. So 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, that's one loop. So if you've got a 12-incher, you'll end up with about 4 feet. Okay, so 4 feet loops. She wants about 2 yards. So 2 yards would be 6 feet. So I'm just making a longer Niddy Noddy. And then I looked online at all kinds of different shapes and plans for Niddy Noddies, and saw there are basically, like, 3 or 4 different kinds. This is a pretty technical diagram here. There's one kind that has kind of like a loopy top. Another has a simple curve. You can see that the one I made for her originally has that kind of simple curve to it. And some of them fold up flat and some of them stay in this kind of configuration. And then some of them have some little nubs here on the ends. I asked her about that stuff and she said none of it matters. As long as she's got a 2-yard Niddy Noddy that works, she's going to be pretty psyched. By the way, this is kind of what happens sometimes. This is a fleece that's been hanging out here in the shop for, I think, a couple of years, and I'm not exactly sure, but I'm just going to hang it back up and find some wood. So I've got the new Niddy Noddy clamped up here in the shop, and I'm probably going to leave it overnight, let the glue set. I've thought about screwing it and pinning it and that kind of thing, but I think the glue's going to hold it. This Niddy Noddy is not going to be under too much torque. And I've got it set up next to the old one. This was the old Niddy Noddy that was too short, and like I said before, it is about 12.5 inches. And this guy, end to end, like the yarn length is going to be 17 inches. So that will bring us to 17 times 4, 68 inches. So 68 inches is just shy of 6 feet. 4 inches shy of 6 feet. So given the fact that you're gonna wrap about an inch this way each time, that gives me the extra 4 inches. So I think it's gonna be a 6 foot or 2 yard Niddy Noddy. So I just pulled the clamps off this, and this is the finished Niddy Noddy. As you can see, it's pretty burly, like really, really thick. Is that the biggest, thickest Niddy Noddy you've ever seen in your life?
It's really good because I can hold it with my hand and I can move it around and not feel like an idiot. Like Beth actually just laughed at me the whole time I used my other one. Like she just sat there and laughed at me. It was so
But isn't this one just too big?
No, it's great. It's really awesome. It's the best Niddy Noddy.
It looks like the Vikings made it.
That's okay. I can do this. This is what you're supposed to do with a Niddy Noddy. That's why it's called a Niddy Noddy, because you hold it like this and do this weird rocking motion.
I think it was because you were naughty when you're knitting. But that should be your 2 yards because it's 6 feet.
Oh, it's a much better length. I saw someone do it like this. It was really great. Yeah, that's how it works.